Hello everyone, welcome to iCONTACT. Today we are at Chadwick International. We're meeting with Mr. Taylor, the principal of Village School. If you're interested, stay tuned. Okay, welcome to iCONTACT. I'm Sion Park. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Well, we will now go off with the first question. And could you please introduce yourself and tell us about your role at Chadwick International?
Sure, my name is Julian Taylor and I am the Village School Principal at Chadwick International. Our Village School encompasses students from pre-K, who are 4-year-olds, through to grade 5 students.
Well, Chadwick is known as one of the Korea's top international schools. What set it apart from the other institutions?
I think for my perspective, we live our school mission. When we talk about our school mission about developing global citizenships, citizens with keen minds, exemplary character, self-knowledge and the ability to lead, we set ourselves apart because we live that. Our core values are very important to us as well. We want all members of our community to be displaying respect, responsibility, honesty, fairness and compassion.
This is my personal question, and I heard that your children also attend this school, right?
Yes.
And especially your daughter is very good at soccer, am I right?
Yes, she enjoys it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and I think we're lucky when you mention that because what sets our school apart too, I think, is our programming as well. We offer the International Baccalaureate program, and within the Village School, that's the primary years program. It's a very inquiry-driven program where we want our kids to be asking, why is this happening? Our students, much like you just mentioned, have incredible opportunities outside of the classroom to participate in sports, through athletics, our outdoor education program, which starts more officially from grade 4, where the kids are going off out in the wilderness, involving hiking and kayaking. But even our pre-K students, our youngest kids, once a month, they go climbing in a local mountain to explore and to find out. And so whilst we're very proud of our outdoor education program for the later years, it really starts really early on at our school. So our kids, I often say this, our students are very lucky to come to this school, I believe. And I'm very lucky and privileged to be here as part of the community.
Our next questions will be about the academic programs and also the student experience. What are some key academic programs that Chadwick offers?
Much as I referred to before, our International Baccalaureate curriculum is what we implement at this school. And what's special about that program is that it allows our students to build connections across subject areas. And we use more real-life contexts so the learning becomes more meaningful. For example, we had students recently who were learning about sustainability and plastics in our ocean.
I see.
And their action that they took from a global perspective was to create little stickers to remind people and send their messages about being careful with use of plastics. So we try to build that connection between the learning and the real life, and that's how our kids, we engage our kids in their learning.
How does this school encourage the critical thinking and also global perspective in students?
Yeah, great. I think what we value is student action. And so when we are teaching our kids and introducing them to different ideas, we challenge them to see where the problem might be and to identify a problem to then take some action. So, for example, we had a grade 1 student recently who went home to find out what's a problem that's happening at home that he might be able to solve. And the problem was that his mum was coming home every night and putting the keys in the key holder and then waking up in the morning and forgot, did I park in B1 or did I park in B2? And so this child looked at that problem, then he designed this little thing with cardboard that was just 1 block and 2 block, and he wrote B1 and B2. So mum would come home and pop the keys in the right one so she'd know the next day. And so for our younger students, we help them identify and problem solve very early on, and that just gradually becomes more complex.
I see.
we start with our family, our local community, and then our global community.
Well, I would like to hear more about the international students. Well, I walked all the way here and I thought that there were a lot of international students playing around, and what it's like for international students to study here, and are there any like unique support system in place?
Sure. And so one of our goals is to continue to diversify our student body and become more international. So even though our figures might say that we've got students from 51 different nationalities and teachers from 27 different nationalities, we know we need to continue to develop that. And so we know, and I certainly know from my experiences working abroad, it's really difficult and hard to come to a new country
Right.
and to a new school and to try to fit in and understand. And so we are very intentional in providing support for all of our students, but certainly understanding the needs of our new students. And so we have a program in our school, in the village school, called Responsive Classroom. That is designed to support kids in developing strong relationships with their peers and also strong relationships with their teachers. And so for kids that are new, that really helps them. I think also for students who are new to Korea, they're coming with great ideas and cultural experiences to our community. And so we tap into those rich experiences, and that helps people who have been here for a little while understand a different perspective. It helps them be more empathetic to a global view once they learn more from their friends.
Oh, I see.
We've also got counsellors that are intentionally supporting kids that are new to our school. So they get together and help support them as they adjust to a new place to live and a new school and a new life.
I see. Well, I was in Myanmar like when I was 14, and I went international school there. And for me, it was very hard to adjust in that environment. But compared to my experience, it seems like there are more like special benefits here. And also, yeah, since it's not easy for students to adopt, I think this really helped them to adjust themselves more easily.
And we haven't got it perfectly down, but we're very clear in our intention. We want every child to be seen, heard, and feel accepted and safe. And so we're very cognizant of our new friends, but we're also really aware that our students that have been here for a while, we want them to feel a strong sense of belonging as well.
Well, our next questions will be about this English-speaking environment and cultural diversity. Chadwick operates in English, and how does the school maintain a fully immersive English environment?
Great question. And so we continue to be challenged in this area. Our language policy is clear. We want our students to be learning, developing, and using English. That's critically important to us.
Yes.
Yet we've got students that come from around the world that speak other languages, and we've got our Korean students whose native tongue is Korean. So it's a very complex situation. What we've done when we've researched this and looked at best practices, we understand that there will be times that a child might need to access their home language to understand a word to then be able to learn English from that. And so while everything is English, we understand there are opportunities that a child might need to access their home language. We call this translanguaging to help them develop their English language skills. And that continues to be a really big focus for us because we also understand home language is important.
Right.
Everyone's home language is such an important cultural element for every family. So we want to support that, but we want to use that within the context of helping each child develop their English language skills.
Usually, like, how long does it take to actually adjust themselves in speaking English?
That's a really great question. And it's like there's a continuum of children that might be able to get it pretty fast and some that need to take more time. And so what we need to do is look at each individual, what they need, and then tailor a program specifically for them. We are very fortunate that we have a number of specialist English teachers that work with our friends that require extra support. So they'll work inside the classroom. Maybe there are some times where they need to have very intensive support to help them develop those English language skills. Some kids amaze me. They walk in with
Really?
very little
Oh,
English. They seem to have difficulty when I say good morning, and 6 weeks later, we're having conversations with them. It's
that's really nice.
amazing what our young kids are doing. Some can develop faster than others, but our philosophy is Kenchana. It's okay. We can meet you where you are and help you where you need to get to.
Well, how diverse is the student and faculty population, and how does that influence the learning experience?
Yes, we continue to want to develop our diversity. From a teacher perspective, as we recruit teachers, we're very intentional in recruiting for diversity. I think it's really important that our students, teachers, represent people from around the world.
Right.
And that's really, really important to us as an international school. And of course, we get great value out of having students from different cultures and countries with us. They help us learn more about their culture, and once we give them the opportunity to show that, and that's a big focus for us as well.
Yeah, also like when I was in Myanmar as a student, for me, having international teachers from around the countries were very important for me because you can learn different accent and you can learn actually different culture as well.
Yeah, it is so important because we only grow up with what we know from where we are.
Right.
And so, once again, I feel very privileged to be able to work with incredible educators from around the world. And I feel very fortunate that my own 2 children who attend this school get to be taught from incredible teachers from around the world because they bring a global outlook that is different from mine.
Right.
As an Australian that's
Right.
been an expatriate for many years. And that just adds to the wonderful learning opportunities for our students at this school.
I would like to hear more about your thoughts of this school as an educator. Well, as an educator, what core values guide your facility? Oh, sorry. As an educator, what core values guide your philosophy of education?
Great question. For me personally, I believe a value that's really important is care. And I'd like to think that part of a lot of what we do at our school here is show great care for our
Care.
students, care for our families, and care for each other. And it's through that wanting to care as a real backbone. Now, we strongly believe in our core values as a school. And I was just at assembly yesterday talking about the importance of being responsible within the context of our students. We try to catch our kids doing the right thing at this school. So when you're showing respect, we want to call that out. When you're showing responsibility, being honest
Being
and
honest.
fair, we want to connect what the child is doing to these values. And we also see our core values and our school mission not just for students. Of course, the students are the most important people in our building, but we need our parents and obviously our teachers
Right.
to be understanding and being good role models in helping our students
I
understand
see.
these values through their actions as well.
Okay, so you can say that the core values are care and respect and being honest and also being a good role model.
Yeah, being responsible, that's right, and honest
Okay.
as well. That's really, really important.
How do you define the success in education, both for international students and both for school?
So yeah, it's a great question. I think if we're looking at individual students, how do we know that they are successful? I think I'll just connect it to elements of our school mission. And so if we're looking at developing a global citizen, is this child able to display the traits of someone that's open-minded and has more of a global view? If we're looking at being keen minds, is the student able to be curious and show curiosity, be asking the questions why, and even better, why is it done that way? Why do we do this and why do we do it this way? I think those are the questions that we encourage from our students. Students will be successful if they display our core values. Students will be successful if they're able to show empathy and take action and have ideas to take action. I think from our school end, what can we as a school do to help support that? I think we need to ensure that our programming, our IB program and our Chadwick way is supporting the kids to be able to do those things. So does that, have we got enough and the correct personnel and resources to support that program? That's really, really important. I think as a school, we need to ensure that all our community members are all on the same page about supporting our students with our school mission and our core values.
Okay, I see. Thanks for your response. In your opinion, what qualities should a good teacher embody, and how does Chadwick cultivate those qualities among its faculty?
So we have a number of Chadwick teacher traits that we find valuable. For example, collaboration. We are a highly collaborative school and we consult a lot among our team. So people that we bring on board to our school need to be highly collaborative. We also seek teachers that are professionally grounded. We are very fortunate at our school to provide incredible professional development and training for our teachers. In fact, in a few weeks, we're hosting a regional international baccalaureate workshop weekend where there'll be 600 participants from around the world, and some of our teachers will join that. And so we need our teachers to be learners. We support our young learners, we need to be learners as well. We also need our teachers to be technologically competent because we know in this day and age, we're exploring AI and what that looks like and how that can support our students and our faculty members as well. So there's a couple of examples of what we look for. But if I had to say there's one thing that we really look for, it's teachers that love working with children.
Right.
You need to have that love in order for you to bring your very best because we want to provide the most amazing experiences for our students.
Love and care.
Yes.
Right, I see. Looking back on your career, is there any like personal experience that left a lasting impact on you?
Sure. If I reflect, I've been in education for almost 30 years, and I still remember my first year of teaching, which was a very long time ago. And there was that student that I was teaching that first year, and he seemed very intelligent, but he refused to do any of the work, and he refused to do what all the other students were doing as far as activities. And that got me thinking about, why is this happening? How can I help this student? And that sort of drove me early on in my career into the area of what we called back in those days special education or learning support, because I wanted to find out how I could help out this student, who I'm not going to name, but I still remember his name and his surname. And so that pushed me to want to take on more training and do some more degrees to find out. And through that journey, and very early on in my career, I realised that one of the most important things a teacher can do is to know their child, know their student, and build a very positive and close relationship. Because if we can build a really positive and close relationship, there's greater opportunity for that child to be successful because you're working more together and you're working in the area that student needs and wants.
I see. Well, did you find the solution for that?
I did. Well, sort of the solution. I guess I found out during that journey that I really needed to get to know him. And as a first year teacher, when you're still learning a lot, I'm still learning a lot now, by the way, I will not deny that, but I really needed to understand him more. And when I understood what his interests were, what helped him, I started gravitating to that and adding that into his program, and he was able to make more gains than what I was trying before. So I think that's that constant in for years and years and years, that educators need to develop strong relationships with their kids. They need to know what their interests are and then help students use those interests and those passions to help them move forward.
This will be our last questions of this interview. Do you have a message that you would like to share directly to the students of Chadwick International?
So, to our village school friends, please keep following your passions and your interests. And as I've said to you before, if you've got a really great idea that you think will improve your classroom, our school, or our community, come into the Village School office, let's talk about it, and we'll figure out how we can make your plan come true.
Finally, could you please request a song to end this interview with? And do you have any song that you're currently listening to?
I will go old school. I'm going to go old school.
Okay.
A song from a long, long time ago. If I'm reflecting on our conversations today and what it means to be part of the Chadwick community and what I feel about working with students and faculty and families, and I don't want to understate the importance of family. Everyone's family is really, really important and special. But I sort of see and this school as a family. So if I was going to request a song, I'd request We Are Family, from Sister Sledge.
Okay, that was today's eye contact with Principal of Village School, Mr. Taylor. Okay, I hope today's conversation has inspired you to reflect on the values of education and the role of schools in shaping the future. Everyone,
Stay tuned.